All right. Hello, everybody. I just wanted to jump on a video and say hello and go over the syllabus with you since we're not going to have class tonight. Um, I'm sitting in my basement. It feels like it's kind of echoing in here, but it's the only like really quiet spot I can find in my house right now. Anyway, so on Wednesday, we're going to be watching a video that takes pretty close to an hour. And so I didn't want to take up our discussion time because I want to be able to discuss the video afterwards. So I didn't want to have to do all of this syllabus stuff that day too. I mean, I know I could just trust you all to read the syllabus and figure out the things you need to figure out, but I can just, make a video. So that's what I'm doing here. So I'm just going to really quickly go over the Canvas site and how it's set up, and then go through the syllabus and those kinds of things so that you can have that. All right, so I'll just share my screen really quickly. And then we'll get going. Okay, so I'll just get into Canvas really fast and just show you our course. I have seen that a lot of you have already been on here, so you have probably seen all this already. Let me just show this from student view here, just a second. This is what it will look like for you at this moment. So anytime, so I have this just set up really in a really simple way that's super easy to follow. It's just by week. Anytime there's a reading, it is listed under that week. And you'll have to look back at the syllabus to see which day, but they're usually in order. So it's usually one reading per day. So the first one listed would be the Monday reading, and the second one listed would be the Wednesday reading. If there's more than two, make sure you look at the syllabus to make sure that you have the right ones on the right day. But otherwise, it's pretty simple to follow just by week. And then if there are assignments, those are just under the week as well. So really easy, should not be any confusion here. You will notice that the only things listed in week 1 and 2 is the syllabus today, and then nothing in 2. That's because we're watching videos in class. So you don't need to do anything ahead of time for those. So we'll watch those videos in class, and then we will discuss them. But as you can see, there's multiple readings almost every week. When it's something like this, bad ideas about writing book, you will need to look at the syllabus to see what pages to read, etc. I do not have everything in here yet. I'm all the way up to spring break, so plenty of stuff on here to if you're the kind to try to read ahead or get stuff done early. Everything's in here up to week 10. I was working on putting week 11 in, but it's something that I need to copy from a book, so that I have to be on campus for that. So I'll have to do that on Wednesday to get that in, but I'll get the rest of it up here. I usually get it up there within the first week, so it shouldn't be very long. All right, so let's go ahead and look at our syllabus. If you have any questions about the Canvas site or get confused or anything, just let me know. I assume it's pretty simple. I don't use it in any super complex ways or anything. Anyway, so here is our syllabus. And this, of course, is on Canvas already, and you've probably looked at it already, but I'll just go over it really quickly with you. My office hours, I currently have listed as 11 to 2 Monday and Wednesday, and 1 to 2 on Friday, but I think I'm probably going to change that because since I decided to have our class mostly in person, I'd rather do them in the afternoon right before our class. So I'll probably change those. So I'll let you know if I change that though. My office is in Colden, right downstairs from where our class is. This is my office phone number. Nobody calls me on the office phone, so you can, but nobody really does that. Email is the best way to get a hold of me. So I do check my email quite a lot. So yeah, it's easy to get a hold of me. And I will answer you right away, unless, of course, it's late at night, which for me, late at night means 10. So if it's past 10, you will not very unlikely to get an answer before the next day. Okay, so just some things. Let's just go down here. So the important stuff, textbooks, there's no physical textbook for this course. I don't know if They showed one from the textbook services. I don't know. At a 500 level class, I can't remember if textbook services holds a book for a 500 level or not. I always forget that. But anyway, either way, there's no book. So if you got a book from textbook services for this course, we are not going to use it. So everything you're going to read is going to be a PDF that's on Canvas. And so that's where you'll find all of that. So this is the official course description that's in the catalog. Just says a sociocultural linguistic study of the history of the human language, its grammars and or dialects addressing historical and or current language theories. The specific subject matter and emphasis will change each semester. Possible topics are blah, blah, blah. Okay, so this is what we like to call an umbrella course, meaning that the topic can change every term depending on who's teaching it and what topic they want to do. So, for example, when Dr. Ridding teaches it, she usually teaches it as the history of the English language. When I teach it, it's more of a sociolinguistics course, and I have changed the topics depending on what kinds of things that I want to study or talk about. But I have been doing it for the past few times as linguistic diversity in America and its effect on the classroom. So we are going to talk quite a lot about how linguistic diversity affects classroom spaces, but I think it's going to be interesting even if you're not going to be a teacher. So obviously it's helpful for those people who are going to be teachers, but if you aren't going to be a teacher, I think a lot of what we're going to talk about is going to be really useful to you as well, because it's going to dispel a lot of myths about language. And I think that's really helpful to anyone. So anyway, the course outcomes are super simple here. Discuss linguistic topics in informed and educated ways that are supported by linguistic research. Distinguish between linguistic facts and myths. And then specifically for our this particular version of the course, understand the most effective ways to approach language diversity in the classroom. So that's going to be part of that. Okay, so let's see what else. Mostly this is going to be a discussion class. You're going to have a reading or a video every single class period, and we will talk about it. That's basically what we're going to do. We will also do some small group work, maybe some in-class exercises, things like that, because we are trying to relate everything we talk about to the classroom. We're going to do some work, small group work on building lesson plans or things like that that you might use if you're going to be a teacher. But as I said, a lot of it is going to be interesting to you whether or not you're going to be a teacher. So keep that in mind. Graded course requirements. So almost everything in this class is credit, no credit. So you either do it or you don't. We only have 2 assignments. So mostly this is a class that's going to be about participation. So you're going to be, as I said, reading a lot of stuff, and we're going to discuss it in class and those kind of things. And so that's where you're going to get your points, The papers that you're going to write are going to mostly be credit, no credit. Although some partial credit is given. For example, if I tell you that it needs to be a certain number of pages and you only give me half of that number, then you'll get some points taken off, of course. But mostly those papers are just you do them and you get credit for them, or you don't do them and you don't get credit for them. So your participation is really where you need to be on the ball. This is more about, the grading in this class is more about being a good student than anything. So as long as you're being a good student, coming to class, participating in class discussion, turning in the work, all of that, everyone should get an A. I mean, really. So there shouldn't be any worry. There shouldn't be any, confusion about, what you're doing or anything like that. So 50% is satisfactory completion of the writing assignments, which there are only 2 of, and then 50% is participation. Speaking of writing assignments, we're going to have, as I said, just 2. You're going to do a lesson plan and a justification of that lesson. So you're going to create a 50-minute lesson plan for either a college classroom or actually any level. I was going to say college or high school, but it could be younger. It could be any level on linguistic diversity. And then you're going to have like a couple of pages to explain and justify why you think that's a good assignment and what you want students to learn from it and that kind of stuff. And then there's a final research paper that is going to be just take one of the topics we've been talking about and explore it more, find other outside research to add into that, and things like that. So simple, not simple, but straightforward anyway. Assignments. Grading scale, of course, is just like that. So I've already basically covered the course outline, but I'll just read this anyway. This 504 course will focus on linguistic diversity in America and its effect on writing classes in both public schools and universities. We will discuss what linguistic research tells us about language diversity and what composition scholars tell us about teaching writing to linguistically diverse students. This class will help those of you who are planning to be teachers to be able to approach linguistic diversity effectively in your classrooms. But it will also be of interest to those who are not going to be teachers as well. So, like I said. So a little more information about the writing projects. There are 2 major projects in the class, a secondary research paper where you will argue for an approach to linguistic diversity in the classroom, or like I said, really an argument about any of the topics we have discussed in class. So you're just, if we talk about grading contracts, or we talk about, teaching grammar, or, all these different topics we're going to discuss. You pick one of them that you think is interesting and you explore that topic in more details and you do a paper on that. And that's going to be about 8 pages for undergraduates and 10 pages for graduate students. And then, as I said, you will create a lesson plan and we'll have a 3 to 4 page explanation / justification for that lesson plan. Class discussion, as I said, most of this class is going to be a discussion class, so come prepared to talk about what you think about the readings or videos that we watch. So that's basically what we're going to be doing. We're going to talk about some stuff and it's going to be fun. I love this topic, so it's one of my favorites to talk about. So I hope that you all agree, because I could talk about this stuff all day, and so I hope that you like it too. Anyway, no final exam, etc. Oh, late policy, I should go back up to that. I'm pretty generous when it comes to extensions, so just ask me for an extension if you aren't going to be able to get those papers in on time, and I will pretty much always grab them. All right, so as I said about the Canvas site, you'll have to look here if you're not sure which of the readings to do on which day, but it should be pretty straightforward. There should not be any confusion, I don't think. So we're starting off with some videos. I know that some of you who have been in my classes before have seen some of these videos before. Okay, couple things. So if you've taken 403 with me already, or you were in 620 with me last term, you're going to have some overlap. So if you've done 403 and 620 and are now taking this, you're going to have a lot of overlap, actually. But it's probably been a while, unless you just took 620 last term. It's probably been a while since you have watched some of these videos or done some of these readings, and we're going to focus on them maybe in a little bit different perspective than we did last time. And it's never a bad thing to just watch them again or read them again. I mean, I have been doing Do You Speak American in classes like this and in my composition classes for, I don't know, 10 years. And I still enjoy watching it. So I get something new out of it every time. So hopefully you aren't like, oh, great, I have to watch Do You Speak American again. Or read some of these articles again if you just read them. Obviously, if you were in 620 last term and you just read them, you don't necessarily have to read them again, but refresh yourself on them so that you can come and discuss them again. You'll always get more out of it. So hopefully it doesn't seem too much like we're just repeating things we did in other classes. There will be some overlap if you have taken my 403 or my 620. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, so this should be pretty self-explanatory. There are a couple days where I'm not quite sure what we might have to do because I'm going to be away at conferences. So it depends on, I haven't booked my plane yet, so I don't know when I'm going to leave. If I'm already at the place, I might still be able to Zoom our class, or we might do just an online discussion, etc. So there's a couple of days like that, at least 2, and there might be a couple others too, but that shouldn't be it shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, so that's that. And I think that's probably all I have for you today. If you have any questions, of course, just send me an email and I will get back to you right away. But I think that's it. So let me know if you have questions, and otherwise I will see you all on Wednesday. Hopefully the snow is at least gone enough by then that we can make it to class, and be safe out there. So don't drive if you don't have to, and don't even walk if you don't have to. Don't want anyone to fall and break their arm. All right, I will see you all on Wednesday.